Okay, I'm going to talk about the Michelin Pilot 6, or Road 6s as they are now. Used to be the Road Pilot, but now it's just the Road 6. So, first of all, let's talk about the bike that it's on, a BMW S1000 XR. This is, for those of you who have been living under a rock, this is the BMW adventurized version of their S1000 RR top-of-the-line sports bike. So the engine's a little detuned down to a mere 165 brake horsepower and about 95 foot-pounds of torque. It is a ferocious machine which is blisteringly quick. Part of the electronics is you can see how much your average throttle opening is, and mine is about 16%. Which just shows that I'm barely feathering the throttle for the majority of the time. Now, I do enjoy the performance of the engine. I do open it up from time to time on the acceleration, which quickly gets you into speeds which would be troubling to explain to any law enforcement officer. But it is ferocious. So the stresses that this bike will place on the tyres are right up there with any other. I do the majority of my riding to and from work. I do go on longer trips 2 or 3 times a year, touring around. And I have not been a Michelin fan. They just don't work for me. I prefer Pirellis and Bridgestones and Metzlers. But because of the attention that the Road 6s get from everyone, I thought, okay, I'm going to try a set. So I caved and I got these. So this is the rear here, and you can laugh at the chicken strips all you like, because getting right over you don't have to do unless you're on a racetrack. If you're doing it on the road, then you're asking for trouble, and you're not going to be on the road very much longer. I can ride quick if I wanted to. I used to be a long time ago a police officer. I've done all their training. Believe me, we can ride quick. Anyway, so this is my tyre. This has got 3,160 miles on it. Yes, I'm that much of a dork. I measure how much miles I get out, and there's still loads of tread left. Now compare this to the other end of the scale, a Shinko. So I had a Triumph Tiger 1050, and I put a Shinko Advance on that. That cost $125 compared to this, which is like $275. So a little under half price for the same tyre. Oh no, that's not right. Yeah, about half price. And the Shinko, that particular one, lasted 2,800 miles. This one has lasted longer, and it's barely got through any tread. So, judging by the wear that I get from other tyres, I typically, out of a rear, I'm looking at, for a good tyre, I'm looking at about 8,000 miles, and I'm thinking I'm probably going to get even more than that out of one of these. For reference, I weigh 190 pounds unladen, so with all my gear on, which I wear a lot of protective gear, I've got the panniers, which carry extra weight, so you're looking at a reasonably loaded bike. It's not like I don't ever carry passengers, so. And you can see that after 3,000 miles, it's barely squared off. Usually the tyres get very flat. So that's impressive, actually. The grip has been phenomenal. This is the front, which I didn't put on at the same time. And I know, you're not supposed to do that. But let's get real. They're expensive. So this has been on for 2,160 miles. And again, look at the depth that you've got left in the tread. Incredible amount. And again, very little, if any, squaring off whatsoever. So the performance, I gotta say, it's been phenomenal. These things grip in the dry. They're very progressive. Something about this, because I was running the the Metzlers, the Road Tech, prior to this, and it ended up with a kind of a flatter profile. So this has got a narrower profile than the Metzlers. So at first, the tip-in was much quicker, which kind of threw me. But now that I've got used to it, it's great. Very stable, high-speed corners, changes direction easily. But the wet has been crazy good. It was a very heavy downpour one day, and I decided, just for the hell of it, just to see how much trouble I could get into. Now, the electronics on the BMW will do a lot for you. So I was in rain mode, which drops the power and it drops the throttle response, but I nailed the throttle, and it still shoots forward with alarming alacrity, and the back did not spin up, did not lose grip. It felt like I was in the dry. I didn't try it in Dynamic Pro, which would, if it was going to break free, that's when it would do it. But in rain mode, I mean, I was going quick. And then I slammed on the front in a straight line on a piece of road that I know well. I just wanted to see what would happen. And again, it was like I was in the dry. It just slowed. There was no skipping or squirming or anything. The water evacuation obviously works really well with these very aggressive typing that they have, and however it works. It's very clever. These are great tyres. If you have any kind of sport touring machine, this is obviously more on the sport, but anything like this, I cannot recommend these tyres highly enough. They're expensive, but looking at the amount of tread wear I've had, looking at the competition, they'll actually work out cheaper in the long run because I won't need to change them as often. So there you go. The Michelin Road 6 tyres for sport touring, for realistic road riding, realistic, quick, rapid, aggressive road riding without going completely balls out, without going on a track. They will do everything you need them to. They grip, they work well in the wet, they work well when it's cold, they work well when it's hot, they turn in, they're predictable, they even soak up bumps. Really, really good tyres. Stop questioning if you need them and just get them. You won't regret it.